Hello, welcome to my storytime reading of Beauty and the Beast, the Disney version. Once upon a time in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. He had everything he wanted and was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. One night, an old woman offered him a rose for shelter. The prince denied, and the old woman turned into a beautiful enchantress. She put a curse on the prince, turning him into an ugly beast, and left behind an enchanted rose. If the prince did not find true love before the last rose petal fell, he would remain a beast forever. This mental stress triggered the beast, and he had episodes of low energy, low motivation, and was often alone somewhere in the castle. Along with these very low moments, he had episodes of manic moments and random outbursts of anger. In a village nearby, Belle lived with her father. Everyone in the town thought Belle was a little odd. The townspeople described her as strange, head in the clouds, and distracted. She had many disorganized thoughts and believed she did not belong in the town. More than anything, Belle wanted an adventure like those she read about in her beloved books. A man named Gaston wanted to marry Belle, but she was not very fond of him. Belle thought he was a beastly bore, and Gaston did not understand why she was always reading. Gaston was obsessed with himself and had an unwarranted sense of self-entitlement. He thought he could get any girl he wanted to, and Belle was the prettiest in the town. So naturally, he thought he deserved Belle. He always insisted on having the best of everything. He tried to woo Belle with his good looks and trophies. He exaggerated his achievements and talents of hunting to win Belle's heart. Belle's father, Maurice, was an inventor who the town thought was crazy. His latest invention was an automatic wood chopper, which he took to a contest at the county fair. On his way to the fair, Maurice became lost in the woods. A pack of wolves chased him to the gates of a nearby castle. Not sure what he would find inside, Maurice entered the castle grounds cautiously. Inside, inanimate objects began to talk to him, and he started to hallucinate. Maurice could never have imagined the hideous beast that confronted him. Thinking Maurice had come to stare at him, the beast became furious. He became irritated and manic, and without mercy, he locked the unwanted visitor into the dungeon. While Belle's father was locked in the castle, Gaston once again tried to get Belle to marry him. He refused to believe that anyone could possibly say no to him. When the father's horse came home alone, Belle went in search of her father and found him locked up. Belle, without thinking, begged the beast for Maurice's freedom. "Take me instead," she offered. The beast agreed. Belle's impulsive, chaotic behavior made her promise to stay in the castle forever. The beast began to feel guilty for locking Belle up and letting her father go, but that feeling quickly shifted to anger as the beast explained that it was forbidden for Belle to go in the west wing of the castle. Back home, Gaston was furious that Belle rejected him and publicly humiliated him. Gaston's feeling changed at his henchmen, who gave him constant admiration, sang him a song about how amazing he was. Gaston went back to loving his body, personality, and demanding everyone to admire him. Then Belle's father came to Gaston and told him Belle was locked in a castle. Maurice became the laugh of the town because everyone thought that this couldn't be real. He was known as Crazy Old Maurice after all. Gaston decided the best way to Belle's heart was through her father. Gaston did not actually care for Maurice's feelings, but he knew he could use him to get to Belle. Gaston had little regards to others' emotions. Back at the castle, the spell cast by the enchantress had turned the castle folk into enchanted objects. They were funny, friendly, and treated Belle like a special guest. On her first night, Belle met the castle servant, and like her father, she had hallucinations and began speaking to the inanimate objects. This trait could have been genetically passed down to Belle. At dinner time, Belle refused the beast's invitation to join him, which made him roar with frustration. Belle realized the beast was quite moody and had a horrible temper. The beast was anxious to break the spell, and felt Belle was a sign of hope. So he had very little patience. Miss Potts, the teapot, and Lumiere, the Cambellum, told him to be patient and above all kind. They were tired of seeing the Beast depressed, unmotivated, and bitter. The Beast felt hopeless after the first night with Belle. Later that night, Belle emerged from her chamber, and the inanimate objects sang, danced, and made her dinner. Once again, she was hallucinating. She then went to the forbidden west wing and came upon the magic rose the enchantress had left behind. As Belle reached out to touch it, the Beast appeared and grabbed the precious rose. "Get out," he roared, as he began to throw objects at her. Belle fled the castle on her horse, but was attacked by the same wolves that had chased her father. Risking his life, the Beast impulsively saved Belle. The Beast changed his mood from wanting her to go to saving her life. He had very disorganized behavior. In the days that followed, Belle began to see the goodness in the Beast. As the Beast began to fall in love with Belle, his irritable, depressed state changed to high energy and an upbeat state. The Beast showed Belle his library that had thousands of books. Belle loved this. The Beast did not think Belle was strange like the townspeople did. While this was happening, Gaston had Belle's father placed in a mental hospital. He hoped Belle would marry him in order to get her father's freedom. Gaston wasn't afraid to take advantage of Maurice in order to get what he wanted. But Maurice returns to the castle before Gaston could capture him. Belle noticed that the Beast suddenly became nicer, and she began singing with him. Her experiences were very out of touch with reality, and the lifestyle she had always wanted from her books turned into her reality. One evening, the Beast again invited Belle to dinner. This time she accepted. After dinner, the Beast asked Belle to dance. As they whirled around the ballroom, the Beast realized he was in love with Belle. The Beast asked Belle if she was happy there, and she said yes, but she missed her father. The Beast then pulled out an enchanted mirror, and Belle saw her father through it. Again, hallucinating. The mirror showed that Maurice was dying in the woods, and because of the Beast's love for Belle, the Beast let Belle return to her father. The Beast allowed her to keep the mirror so she could look back and remember him. Once Belle left the castle, the Beast returned to his moody, depressed self. At home, Belle had another hallucination. One of the inanimate objects asked her to return to the castle. Belle, hearing a knock on the door, and the townspeople were there to take her father to the mental hospital, but Belle refused, saying, "My father's not crazy." The townspeople laughed at Maurice when he again described the Beast. Gaston used this as an opportunity to grow close to Belle. He said he will free her father if and only if she marries him. He expected special favors and unquestioning compliance with his expectations. Belle ignored him and used the mirror to show that the Beast was actually real. Gaston heard her speak fondly of the Beast, and he grew very envious and stormed the castle. Gaston also tricked the townspeople into thinking the Beast was dangerous and demanded that the Beast would be killed. Gaston locked Belle and her father in their basement and returned to the castle. At the castle, the inanimate objects tried to prevent the townspeople from entering. The objects asked the Beast what they should do, and the Beast responded, "It does not matter anymore, let them come." The Beast felt hopeless. Belle and her father were freed from the basement and bolted to the castle before it was too late. Gaston entered the Beast's room and pointed an arrow at the Beast. The Beast did not try to get out of the way, so the arrow stabbed him in the back. The Beast continued to take Gaston's beating until he saw Belle and decided to fight back. The Beast had Gaston hanging over the edge, but decided to preserve his life. The Beast told him to flee the castle. Belle saw the kindness in the Beast's heart, but Gaston betrayed the deal and stabbed the Beast. Then Gaston was accidentally knocked off the roof. Belle pulled the Beast to safety. "Please don't leave me," she sobbed. "I love you," as she spoke. The last rose petal fell. Then a shower of sparks filled the air. The Beast began to transform. The enchanted objects were filled with joy, and they too turned back into humans and watched their prince and Belle fall in love anew. Belle and the prince lived happily ever after in the castle, with the inanimate objects that were now human. Belle's life became like the fairy tale she always loved to read. The end. So now for the treatments. So the Beast that has bipolar disorder, Since this is a lifelong condition, the Beast will always have to continuously take medication, and it'll probably take a while before he finds the right combination of medication that works for him. There's mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, antidepressant, and anti-anxiety medication. He would probably also need a psychotherapy session to talk through mood swings, and this could either be done individually or in front of Belle. For Belle, her treatment for indifferent schizophrenia, once again, there's no treatment, so she'd have to continuously take an antipsychotic to help with her hallucinations and delusions. She could also go to therapy, individual therapy, to help normalize her thought patterns, and they also offer family therapy so that family members can cope with knowing someone with schizophrenia. And then Gaston has narcissistic personality disorder, and for him, the best option would be psychotherapy, because most people with this disorder have a hard time understanding that they have it, and most often will refuse treatment. Psychotherapy would be the best option for him because it would give him a place to freely talk with educated professionals on how he feels. And this disease, again, can't be cured, but talking can help build up his own self-esteem and make him have more realistic expectations for others. Thank you.